What I felt, and there was a lot of discussion of this last night, which you can see on the video of last night's presentation. I think the basic character of human beings will change because we're going to be in a brand new situation. We are malleable, pliable. We're able to adapt, and so the assumption that in all this human beings remain the same, everything else is changing, but we remain the same. I don't think that makes sense. So I think there will be positive surprises, one of which is in this new situation, what are human beings capable of doing? What new skills, what new attributes come out? These are things that aren't particularly important now, but will be then. And I strongly believe in that. We will sort of evolve because as the situation evolves. And so there may indeed, just like we say now, that in the future everybody will have 5 jobs, and the last 3 jobs, though the names for those jobs don't even exist yet. Nobody's even conceived of what your last 3, for a young person today, what the last 3 jobs you'll have. We don't have a clue. So we can't really define today what unique human characteristics may arise that make us useful, that we sort of fit in, we're needed, we have these characteristics. I think that's possible, likely, but I don't think we know. Now, what about the struggle? I haven't talked about the struggle, but in the question period last night, people pointed this out, that what's missing in the utopia that I describe is the struggle, the challenge, right? If you can have anything that you want, if you can have any experience that you want, if it's easy to access those things, then life is suddenly less interesting and less satisfying because you don't have this struggle to get somewhere, and then when you finally get somewhere, you feel this sense of accomplishment. So I think we will end up being rewarded in different ways. I mean, right now we are rewarded by something in the situation making us feel important. We made a difference. Maybe there will be some other element that is rewarding for us in the future. And if you look at ordinary people in Nazi Germany and the terrible things that they did, there's a flip side to that, I think. I mean, it's terrible that they did what they did, but the flip side would be there are things that ordinary people in a future society will turn out to be able to do that are very positive, that we can't conceive of today. Say, we had no idea that in that situation they would evolve to do that. So that's a kind of long-winded answer, and I'm sorry about that, but that's how I see it. So it's not quite as simple. We used to say that our relationship to these super sentient machines would be like your relationship to a grasshopper or an ant that you saw on the way to this room. That it's not that you liked the ant or you didn't like the ant, you just didn't care. It wasn't particularly relevant to your life. And so this threat then of human insignificance is really the big deal. It's not really unfriendly AI, unfriendly robots out to get us. It's robots that are just bored with us, that there's nothing interesting about us. But maybe there will be, because maybe we'll find ways to sort of fit in with this new scenario. So anyway, that's my thought. Any other questions? So I was surprised last night. In Hub Mall, everybody has to be out at 11. So we went until 11, and if you look at the discussion in the last 10 minutes, it's really hopping. So if your experience is that a meeting that late, everybody's sort of sleeping and nothing important happens, this was a surprising exception to that general rule that late in the evening, everybody's sleeping, nothing important happens. And it was really moving for me to see the lights on the bridge. So anyway, I have video and stills. If you ever want to see those lights in great detail. Ross Lockwood, a physics PhD, and I drove across the bridge and went to the best vantage point to take pictures and so on. Any other questions? Thanks for coming. Okay.